This is the worst week of Come Dine With Me that ended in disaster.
It's 36 double D. Just my size.
Not bad at all.
My boobs were drawing a lot of attention. Oh, darling, you've got a little bit on your tie.
I think that I'm pretty safe as far as the male dominance is concerned.
You often like creamy things in your mouth, Joe.
Take that and shove it right up your
Hello, you gorgeous donuts. Come Dine With Me is an iconic British TV show in which 4 total strangers battle it out to be the ultimate dinner party host. Each night of the week, the contestants take it in turns to cook their own version of a 3-course meal, and then they get rated out of 10 by each guest on how good it was, how good the food was, the entertainment, the overall atmosphere. And at the end of the week, the person who has the highest score wins £1,000. So you can probably tell this gets a little bit intense. And the intensity is only maximised by the producers, as they always pick the most obnoxious people ever and people with totally contrasting personalities just to create so much drama. Like, this TV show has passive aggressiveness on a scale I have never seen before. And that is so evident in the week of Come Dine With Me that we're covering in today's video. This is known as one of the wildest episodes of Come Dine With Me ever. Every single night the mood gets more and more awkward as all of these people are just sick of each other because of how awkward they're making each other feel. It's embarrassing. And this all leads to the very last hosting night, which ends in disaster, with one contestant storming out of the set. I'm so excited for this, but before we get to the last night, we need to meet our contestants first. So the first competitor who will be hosting on the first night is called Jo. She is a dog breeder, and she says that she has a very special skill to diffuse any drama that goes on this week.
Guess when people are stressed, they touch my breasts. It makes them feel happy.
Do they? In what scenario does that occur, love? Fair enough if it's your husband, but you're saying anybody here. I don't know if I rate this or kind of feel creeped out by this. It's an open boob policy, a policy that often is not implied by a lot of people. I don't actually know if there is a closed boob policy. I think that's just, standard. I don't know if her boob has healing powers for anxiety. That would, if so, you kind of need to take her in for studying, okay? The answers to anxiety is in Jo's breasts. Sorry, I need to chill out. I don't know where I'm going with this. And Jo kind of gives off Diddy vibes a little bit, where she talks about what her normal dinner parties are like.
We've had lots of different dinner parties, naked ones, half-dressed ones. Yeah, just...
Sorry, love. I don't think that's no longer a dinner party at that point. Sorry, if I went to a dinner party and, the entry fee was stripping, I'm not entering that house. I feel like that's a swingers club. Personally, imagine you didn't know as well. You just sit down at the dinner table, you're like, oh, I can't wait to tuck into some turkey. Oh my God, her breasts are out. And why are you resting your wiener on the table? Did I just say wiener? I think I did. I think because there's a dog there. I don't call dog dicks wieners. I don't even use that word. I don't know what's happening, guys. I'm going to move on. But yeah, just saying, Diddy kind of did the same thing. Now, Jo's vibe totally contrasts with Helen's vibe, who is our next competitor. Our first kind of video of Helen makes her look really majestic with her husband.
Helen Crookshank, a 47-year-old occupational therapist.
Bro, sorry. The aura that this woman holds, oh my lord. I feel like I'm watching Prince Caspian and Narnia or something. I hope that she turns up to the dinner parties on horseback. Instantly, I feel like you need to give her a 7 just for that. And the rest is just up from there. Now, Helen says if there is any saucy talk at the table, she will just walk out because it makes her extremely uncomfortable. So this should be interesting. Helen also says that she will do absolutely anything and tear anybody down to win. Which I'm thinking, all right, love, calm down. It's only a dinner party. Are you willing to tear people's clothes off? Because Jo is. But she does seem quietly confident she will win this. One person that doesn't seem calm is our next competitor, Michael. He is a 21-year-old manager of an estate agency firm somehow. And you can tell he definitely thinks he's like Colchester's Jordan Belford.
She offered 115,000. I swore at her.
Bro, he was definitely expecting everyone to just rise and go, oh, you what? That's our saviour right there. I'm not fucking leaving. At least they giggle. Everyone just looked at him like, yeah, that, you've got the makeup to do that.
Yeah, I'm used to telling other people what to do. Obviously, my assistant manager's over twice my age, and
You know, she does what she's told.
I know that assistant manager despises him. Yeah, she's twice my age, but I'm her boss. I'll be like, oh, right, just wait until you get off that camera, you little prick. I mean, it is really impressive that he's the manager of this branch at 21 years old. Especially, like, when you see, like, people that are double his age work for him. That is wild. Needs to get himself over to America. Get on Selling Sunset, fella, with these skills. My favourite show, by the way, guys, right? Not even afraid to admit it. I don't care.
I'm incredibly competitive. I absolutely hate to lose, and I wouldn't lose this competition.
For some reason, I really would like to see him come second. It's just how kind of arrogant he kind of comes across at certain points. And Michael is definitely our final contestant's worst nightmare.
If I'm faced with a cocky young upstart who's full of himself, they usually dig themselves a huge hole. You just got to help them dig it.
Yeah, I'll be first in line to dig that man's grave. Bit deep. Should I retract that? No. But just no, I don't feel good about saying it. This is Paul, and he is a deli owner, so you would imagine that he probably knows the most about food just because his job centres around it. And he does seem kind of sweet at a first glance.
I think if it's about food, I will win. If it's about personality, it could be more of a struggle.
Oh. Hey, give yourself some credit, Paul, will you? It is interesting with Come Dine With Me because I actually don't think it is all about the food. I do think it is about your personality a little bit. Like, if your food is amazing but people don't like you, they will vote you down. So I do think it is a mixture of both. Now, you are going to see how Paul isn't actually the sweet person you think he is later in this episode. Just saying. We then get to see some of the contestants reacting to Joe's menu for the first night.
Egg and soldiers.
Egg and soldiers? What do I do with that for dessert?
To be fair, that is really strange. I have never, ever, 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 ever had egg and soldiers for dessert. That's like a breakfast thing, isn't it? You know, it's an amazing dish as a breakfast. But I can't imagine choosing, like, egg and shoulders over, like, a sticky toffee pudding. Oh, did you see the water coming out of my mouth there? Hopefully not, otherwise you would have got the ick. But just know it was happening, right, internally? Don't know why I'm admitting that.
OK, that's eating a load of cheese and melting it. It's pretty hard to get wrong and nearly impossible to make nice.
So even if it is right, what's the point? A lot of hope going into this night. I do think with this show, like, a lot of the people that come on it are very pretentious, and I think they do kind of, like, they do think that they know everything about food. Whereas in reality, everybody here is an amateur chef. I know that Paul has a deli, but you can see in the background other people are preparing the food. The show always recruits people that are on the highest of horses. Not as high as Helen's horse, though. And remember, that was a high horse. Meanwhile, Jo is preparing all of the food for tonight, and she's actually invited a friend over to welcome all of the guests. She's basically paying her for the night to be the front of house.
Whilst her friend Carly sets the cheeky tone for the night.
Sorry. This is a true friend right here. What are they wearing? Like a zebra print top? And they got bunny ears on as well and wings? What is this? Also, the dog is a prop, you know, gotta love that. Like, you see a dog on your welcome, automatically you're in a good mood. This is an unbelievable house, by the way. Look how big this garden is. Genuinely, I think this might be like 20 times bigger than my garden.
If you'd like to make your way to the gazebo and to join your host.
Oh my god, this genuinely is a Diddy party, isn't it? I know I've mentioned that twice before, but I'm a little bit worried. Even Joe's wearing bunny ears. What is going on here? After all of the guests arrive, Joe then sits them all down outside in, like, the patio area, which I do find funny because I know for a fact that the neighbours are going to be snooping. I feel like I would if an entire camera crew, like, came to your next door neighbour and went in the garden. Of course you're going to have a look. I mean, we'll have a look, you know. We'll have a little one. Especially if this person in the neighbourhood is known for having naked parties, they're going to think some raunchy things are going on. However, Jo isn't bothered about what the neighbours are looking at. She's more worried about what the guests are looking at. But just before we proceed, a quick word from this video's partner. If you don't know about Holy, they are a clean alternative to sugar-packed energy drinks. They do a range of powder-based soft drinks such as iced tea, hydration, and also energy. And all of these products have zero sugar in them. Zilch. Nothing. Nada. Don't know why I said nada. That was kind of cringe. But basically, there's zero bullshit with these, okay? Just all natural flavors, which just gives you peace of mind and you don't feel guilty for having them compared to other energy drinks. And this Christmas, you can gift one of your loved ones the gift of a lifetime, I'm telling you. You can get them 3 limited edition flavors Holy has on for Christmas, wild goodies, and exclusive bundles. But I do need to make it clear the stocks are very limited with this, so you need to act fast. These new flavours include a holy milkshake, which is Biscoff flavoured. Honestly, I don't know if you can tell, but my mouth is salivating right now. Imagine just putting some whipped cream on top of that and a Biscoff biscuit. Oh my god, now you're talking dirty to us. They also have a holy energy baked apple bore flavour. And they also have the fruity and warm iced tea winter punch, which is kind of a mulled wine vibe. I love mulled wine around Christmas, so this is perfect for me. And you can get all of these in the starter set deluxe pack, which I have promoted so much on this channel. It's the perfect way to get introduced to new flavours and figure out which flavour you like the best. And what's great at the moment is it comes in a festive box rather than the traditional holy box, just making it extra special, I guess. And if you do end up liking one of the flavours a lot, you can get a bigger tub, which I've done. I am addicted to this holy strawberry kiwi. I say this every single time, but I have this every single day. Genuinely, I've got the bottle on my desk right now. It is full. You can hear this. I haven't just filled this up for this integration. It has been full since this morning. So yeah, there's never been a better time to try Holy than now. So click the link in the description now and use code CAM5 on your first order to get £5 off. Or if you've already bought from Holy before, you can use code CAM for 10% off. Go on, do it. You know, it makes sense.
I didn't notice my ears. They were too busy looking at my breasts, Noam.
Well, that's just rude. Who are you talking about, love? Let's get them. Didn't even recognise that she had bunny ears on, the bloody pervs. Oh! Eyes here, please, not there. All right, you bloody creeps. And weirdly, the next clip that we see is just Michael in Joe's bedroom with the guests inspecting one of Joe's bras.
36 double D.
Just my size.
This is so painfully awkward. Oh, she's a double D. That's not bad at all. What is this? What are we rating here? Sorry, are you marking her up for her bra size? She's getting a 10 from me. Just saying. This is so strange. Like, why have they just went into a wardrobe and are holding her bra like that? Like, by the way, these are total strangers as well. If I did wear a bra and my friends did this, I would be like, what are you doing? This is really weird. Never mind people I've never met before.
She's obviously a very sensual lady, not quite the Marks and Sparks girl that I am.
Is that a diss? Well, she's not like the Marks and Sparks girl I am, you know. She's not a walnut whip. She's more like a Haribo tan stick. She's salt and vinegar. I'm more sea salt and malt vinegar, thank you very much. Oh, by the way, ladies, is that like the classy place to get your underwear, Marks and Sparks? I've never, I guess obviously the bigger ones do, but I've just never really, I don't really tend to, you know, spend much time in that section of Marks and Spencer's. I don't even go in Marks and Spencer's in general, to be fair. They all then sit down at the table and the conversation centers around Ibiza and how Michael and Joe often go there on holiday. And you can tell that both Paul and Helen are kind of judging Joe for the way that she goes on here. I feel like they're being really weird towards her.
I used to dance at Coops. Just get up and dance, you know.
Did it involve a pole?
Yeah, no, I don't do pole.
No, everyone's got a line, love. Thank you very much. I mean, what type of dancing do you think that she's going to say? It's hardly going to be like the Argentinian tango or the salsa, is it? Is salsa a dance? It better be, because I've said it now. I'm just thinking about you putting it on Doritos, but I think it's a dance as well, hopefully.
But in them days, I had a figure.
To argue against you, you've still got a figure.
No, I haven't.
Really?
I don't know if he was trying to be nice there, but he's just like, really? Oh, mate. I don't know if I'm just over deep in that, but I feel like instantly you can tell that Paul has a thing for Joe.
These aren't mine.
Are they not?
So all of a sudden we're getting a fake theme here.
I feel like Joe, you know, at this point, she seems kind of, you know, bubbly. She seems like a nice person. She's not trying to, like, be something she's not. You know, she's not trying to, like, flaunt that she's better than what she is. She's even just admitted to having, like, fake boobs there. And then there's, like, a little comment from Helen. Obviously, I feel like it's derogatory calling her fake in general. I feel like they are prejudging her a little bit. And I do think it is a bit unfair. Like, instantly when they do their VTs to the camera, they're kind of forming their opinions on her.
But, oh, God, Anne Summers got bunnies pink. I'm not going to be happy.
Oh, bore off, Helen, will you? To be fair, Anne Summers does make me uncomfortable, but only when I have to go in there. Like, when I go in there with Chloe, I don't know why, but I start overthinking it and thinking everyone is looking at me like I'm an absolute freak and I don't belong in there. When in reality, I'm there because, you know, my girlfriend's going in. But for some reason, I start, like, having, like, a crisis going, oh, everyone thinks I'm a freak. Someone's going to call the police. Everyone thinks I'm a weirdo. Even though I'm not doing anything, but I just have my head down, just staring at the floor. I don't know why it makes me uncomfortable. uncomfortable. Maybe I am just a freak. One thing I will say though, I do think that Jo does like the conversation being centred around her boobs because she brings them up at every opportunity.
My boobs were drawing a lot of attention. Only better to disclose the fact that they weren't really real.
You don't have to disclose anything to anyone, love. If you want to keep the secret to yourself, you keep the secret to yourself, love, okay? Stop putting them fuckers before yourself, alright? My voice will come down one day, don't worry. Now, when Jo eventually does serve the starter, you can see that she definitely fancies Michael a lot, despite Paul clearly having a thing for her initially. Now, just foreshadowing this, you're going to see how much drama this creates later as the week progresses. It's wild. But yeah, already it's a bit awkward.
How old are you, Michael?
21.
And I could be your Mrs. Robinson.
Okay, so for anybody that doesn't know, I believe Mrs. Robinson was like a middle-aged woman who used to go for younger men. So she's, you know, very clearly putting all of her cards on the table here. The narrator did say at the start of this episode that she is married. I hope not.
You got a girlfriend, darling?
It's a complicated question.
I had 7 on the go when I was that age.
Imagine my surprise.
I don't know if I'm reading this wrong, but I can tell Paul is trying to kind of get himself in here, kind of make this a throuple situation. This is a proper nightmare blunt rotation at this point. The one thing I do love about Come Dine With Me, though, is that obviously these people don't know each other. They're going to be feeling a bit uncomfortable. So how do they kind of get to relax quickly? They have a lot of alcohol, and that obviously just creates a lot better content as they feel more relaxed. Now, despite the conversation being positive, the reaction to the starter isn't that great, and even Jo is struggling to discuss what is actually in the starter.
Got gorgonzola, Gewürztraminer.
Bro, that's me. POV, me in like a French exam. Yeah, le virus dans le bus, yeah, fucking, I don't know, croissant or something. I think I've said this in a video before, but one of the only things I remember from doing a French exam is le virus dans le bus, which means there's a virus on the bus. So if anybody is on a bus in France in the future, use that one. Take that for free. You'll be a lifesaver. Honestly, they will stand up and applaud. Just think of me going to France. I'm only useful in one scenario, one niche scenario. People are ill on that bus. Don't worry, you've come to the right man. There's a le virus dans le bus. Everyone's saved. There we go. Lifesaver over here. It's fine, guys, right? I'm off the clock. I'm doing it for free. Now, as this night progresses, bubbling under the surface, you start to see a bit of passive aggressiveness between both of the guys here. I feel like they're trying to throw each other in front of the bus, like to kind of appeal to Jo more.
Tastes like cheese on toast, doesn't it?
Much better than cheese on toast.
Okay.
Oh, aggro.
Did you see his face there? He was like, oh... Right, all right, you're praising our food even though it's shit. Okay, I'll get you back for that, son.
He's quite full of himself, but he's a nice young lad. He is confident. He's trying really hard to charm Jo. I think Jo's got his measure, to be honest.
Oh my God, why are they both being weird? Why do they have to be flirty here? I guess Jo is too. The only person who is actually acting as if this isn't like a dating show is Helen. And you can tell Helen definitely feels uncomfortable, like, of the overall vibe of the group. She definitely feels like the one that's left out.
I'm uncomfortable at the moment. I've yet to find my place in the group.
Oh, I do feel bad for her because she definitely is seeming like the odd one out from like an outside perspective as well, so it's completely normal that she feels that way. I just think, like she said in her intro tape, the whole innuendo stuff is kind of uncomfortable for her, like it's just not really her vibe, and I totally get that. If there was 3 people flirting in front of me trying to get with the same person, I would just be like, yeah, I'm not really feeling this. Now, Jo does go on to say she recognises that Helen is quite uncomfortable and she is going to try and tone it down, but as you're going to see, it only gets worse as the week progresses. The guests then took into their egg and soldiers for dessert, and surprisingly this is their favourite meal. I don't know if that is a positive because it just probably reflects how bad the starter and main was, but to kind of make the overall night better, Jo gives everybody alcoholic shots and she tries to flirt more with Michael after giving him some.
I love what it does to me.
What does it do to you, Jo?
Oh, well, you'll find out later.
Sorry, Jo. We got told you were married, love. What do you mean? We'll find out later. We also have to remember, like, none of these people have probably seen Jo's VT, so they don't know that, you know, in the places they're sitting in now is usually just loads of naked people. They don't know that they're in the devil's lair right now. We're going to see in like 20 years' time a Netflix documentary called Jo, The Reckoning. I'm taking this too far. Okay, she's nothing like that, man. And whilst they're doing these tequila shots, Paul obviously is feeling left out of the whole vibe between Mike Michael and Joe, so he asks if Joe's friend can lick his hand so he can do the salt off it.
I want you to lick his hand.
Not sprinkled.
Thanks
Can we sprinkle the salt?
I've licked. Trust me, I've licked.
Helen is actually hilarious. Trust me, I've licked, love. Love. Don't need any of that action on my hand. I'm sorted, okay? Pre-ordered the lick myself. I do feel a bit bad for our friend. Can our friend not just join in? Why does she have to just stand in the corner there? She's like Dobby. Can someone present this woman with a sock so she can leave, man? All of the guests then get their taxis home and they collectively give Joe a rating of 23 out of 30, which is pretty decent, but I do think it is beatable if anyone else can just improve a little bit. But it is very clear after the first night that Paul and Michael are not going to get on here.
He's alpha male. He is asserting his authority, and he has the biggest shot of tequila. He's probably got bigger feet than I have, but that's fine.
This is so weird. The way that he's kind of talking about him being more alpha than him because he has a bigger shot of tequila and he has bigger feet. Is that really what men kind of compare themselves with? I don't do that, but are people doing that to me? Maybe they are. Maybe there's a guy watching this video right now going, oh my god, look at this absolute freak. I've definitely got bigger feet than him. And you'd probably be right. I'm not telling you. I was going to say my shoe size there, but I'm not telling you now. I'm embarrassed. I can just imagine Paul getting cheated on and this is how he reacts. Oh no, why would you do that? Oh, just quickly, how big were his feet? Size 10! Oh! And he's more of a man than this is the worst day of my life.
I think I've got Paul sussed, and I think that as far as us four goes, I think that I'm pretty safe as far as the male dominance is concerned.
Right. Yeah, would you? You'd say that, would you? Yeah, I'm probably the most male-dominant force in the room. I mean, there is only one other man. And I don't feel like, the women are really kind of involving themselves in this weird hierarchy you've created. Such a weird thing to say. We then move on to the second night, and this is Paul's chance to beat Joe's score of 23. And he definitely thinks that he has, an elevated taste or elevated connection with food compared to the others.
To try and cook like this and to open up your palate and your mind...
Wait, isn't that just ice cream? You can get that sort of ice cream in just an ice cream shop. I don't think that this is really going to, change their palate. But everyone else is not impressed by Paul's choice of menu.
Rack of lamb's really, really easy to get wrong. If he does, it's not going to go down particularly well with me, I wouldn't have thought.
How do they find just the weirdest people? Honestly, if I was on this show, I would be such a boring competitor. Because even if it was bad, I'd be like, well, I didn't pay for it. So, yeah, it's all right, mate. I just love that they choose people who want violence, want to be annoyed. Also, why does every single person hold the menu like this? Are they told to hold it as far away so they can't read it as possible? They're all holding it like how old people use their phones, just... I don't understand why. Also, I love that Michael is just in some sort of random suit shop here. How have they created this little area for him to record? Whose idea was this?
It's sort of bistro-y, isn't it, with the jus, the herb-crusted rack of lamb.
I mean, that's exactly what he was trying to go against. He's thinking that it's a fine dining menu, and it's literally being called bistro food. Now, despite Michael praying for the downfall of Paul tonight, he is actually the first person to arrive at Paul's house, and instantly he kind of subtly criticises the size of it.
It's cosy.
That's estate agent talk for small, Paul.
Yeah, it's cosy, isn't it? Yeah. Ooh, God, good job you haven't got size 10 feet. Wouldn't fit in here. Right? Good job they are small, though. I'm just saying. Michael's saying that he's definitely trying to be passive-aggressive, especially with him being an estate agent. He will know exactly the right words to say when entering someone's house. Now, once everybody else arrives, Paul opens their minds to the endless possibilities of tonight.
Get stuck in. You probably won't guess what they are. Pass them round.
Hamster's balls.
Hamster's balls is good, but it's not right.
I love that he's just handed them some snacks out of a packet and went, you probably don't know what these are. Yeah, I wouldn't just looking at you as I can tell. You're not the type of clientele for these biscuits, thank you very much. I love the passive aggressiveness of this show, it's so good.
I'm trying to introduce the guys to new food and open their minds a little bit, and they're being really receptive. I'm really, really pleased about that.
He's making out as if he's Margot P.A. White or Heston Blumenthal. Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure that they try things that they've never even thought of in their life. I do think Michael has put in a lot more effort than Joe, though, because he's doing things like pairing a certain wine with each course. He's definitely, he definitely knows a lot about food, I will say that. And even Michael is gutted because he's actually enjoying the start of this night.
Start was absolutely excellent, actually. I was really quite upset.
He's such a prick. Yeah, actually, I'm actually devastated that I'm enjoying this. The only reason I'm sat here right now is to see the downfall of this man. So yeah, this is a bit of a spanner in my plans. However, despite the night starting well, it is going downhill as the main course is taking over an hour and the guests have just been left in the sitting room to kind of entertain themselves.
I really hope my food's going to do with talking and we'll have the rest of the night to talk about it.
Good luck with this lot, Paul.
Could you imagine being his child, just watching all of these random adults just take your things and take the piss? I would be gutted. You can tell they must be so bored if this is what they're doing to entertain themselves though, and this all kind of comes into play when they are rating the night. When the main course eventually does come, all of the guests absolutely love it, and this gives Paul like this false sense of security that he's already won this thing before the remaining people have had their night.
Joe's was fine, but this was really good food. Really enjoyed it.
He's so like David Brent. Yeah, I've raised the bar with this one. Honestly, I've literally just had a knock. Like, people have tried to give us a Michelin star. I've had to turn them away because I'm just not interested. I've had the producers like in my ear saying, do you want to do like a cooking show? Like, and we'll just centre it around you. But I haven't got the time, you see. Got me own deli and things. However, Michael is refusing to give him any more credit than he deserves. Also, donuts, if you haven't already, please press the subscribe button. We are trying to get 1 million donuts on this channel. Maybe one day we can hit it, but we need your help. Press the button to join the best community on the internet.
And I would always make sure that I was in the room as much as possible because I don't think that my guests should pour their own wine.
Yeah, if this was me, I'd just do it a lot better, personally. I wouldn't neglect people in my own home, that's what I'm trying to say, if you're asking. Oh my god, I just wouldn't want to be friends with any of these people. Now, despite obviously Paul not knowing that Michael is saying this behind his back, he is saying things to Michael to subtly put him down.
Are you enjoying trying different foods?
Stuff from my potatoes isn't particularly different from me.
You can't say to someone, are you enjoying eating different foods, and they're eating potatoes and lamb? Like, you can't say that. I know it's a rack of lamb and it's Dauphinoise potatoes, which is a bit posher, but you can buy like frozen Dauphinoise potatoes. They're hardly like an exclusive thing. I do feel like it is very patronising. Like, what do you think this guy eats? Just chicken nuggets and chips every night?
Yeah, a lot of people judge you because you're a young Essex guy. You're young, you're quite successful, you've got property. Painting a picture about you, it's not true.
Do you get a lot of people thinking you're a prick because you just look like a prick? But you're not. But obviously you look like one, so I imagine a lot of people do say that. But you're not. But I'm just saying, that's just like a backhanded compliment. That's not a nice thing to say. Do you get a lot of people calling you a bellend because obviously you look like one? No, actually, you actually are the first one, Paul. This is the first new thing that you've introduced me to, so thank you.
First picture when I met you, oh no, you're going to be full of this.
Paul might be trying to say these things to impose himself maybe on me a little bit.
But then again, that's not a great characteristic trait to have if you look at someone and instantly judge them just because, I guess, the way he does his hair or just by his face, like, or what he wears. You're prejudging someone before you've even had a conversation with them, which is pretty harsh. I know everybody is guilty of doing that, but actually like telling that person as well is a bit wild. Yeah, when I first saw you, I just thought that you were an absolute twat. And the more that happens at the dinner table at Paul's night, you can see that he's getting more increasingly annoyed that Michael has a better relationship with Joe than what he does.
Nice action.
Oh no, don't go there.
Oh, look at Paul's face. He's like, you're right. No, right. Also, why again does Joe just keep like why does her boobs have to be the centre of attention in every conversation? They can be talking about anything and she's like, guys, we haven't mentioned my boobs for 2 minutes. Guys, they're starting to get neglected, thank you. To be fair, she's paid a lot of money for them, you know, she's just trying to, I guess, you know, get her money's worth. Did I mention, by the way, I've got boob, did I mention? Yeah. The guests then all leave and they collectively give Paul a rating of 22, which obviously is lower than Joe's initial rating, and I feel like this is going to hit him hard at the end when they reveal the scores, because he believes that he's got this in the bag. But before we do see the results, we have 2 people left to do their dinner parties, man. And the person who is next up to do their night is Michael, and his first point of action when talking about what's coming to his night is putting Paul down.
I think if you're throwing a dinner party, you need to be at the centre of it and making sure you're entertaining people as much as you possibly can.
Now, I will say, Michael's like apartment setup is the kitchen is like here and the dining table is right in front of him, so he obviously isn't going to have that issue. And he knew that he wouldn't have that issue when he was at Paul's house, so he can very openly say this and know that that person can't have any criticism towards him. He is very smart the way that he kind of criticises people because he knows that he can't be caught out with it. But you can tell Paul is determined to criticise Michael so much on his night.
And the 1 out of 10 times it's right, glorious. I'd make 50 if I was him and hope for the best.
He's such a... Like, I told you Paul's not as sweet as he seems. The guy's a deviant.
That'll be lovely if he nails it. It'll be disgusting if he doesn't.
I mean, yeah, but that's just the easiest statement to say ever. I mean, if he does it right, it'll be nice. If he doesn't, it won't. Obviously.
I wouldn't have done chicken. It can be underdone. If you overcook it, it dries out.
Why can't he just be like, yeah, I'm hopeful that this is going to be nice? Why have you got to put some criticism before a bit of positive reinforcement? Genuinely, this is just a huge battle of egos here, and it's so strange. Like, none of them wants to be the less alpha in the group. All of the guests then do arrive at Michael's, ready to tuck in.
There's always your bed there.
Smutty talk within 90s.
Wait, did you see that? Guys, right, this is a secret. Sorry, that kind of threw us off there. I just had to leave me seat. This woman is too horny. Look at her little look to the camera as well. She's like, I'll be there. Don't you worry. Turn off now, Mr. Husband, if you're watching. Do you not find it a little bit odd that she is, like, you know, like, nearly double his age and he's 21 and she's constantly kind of, I don't know, doing these innuendos? Because Michael doesn't seem to be giving it as back as much as what Jo is. She's just very intense with it. It's coming off a little bit desperate. I will say that, Jo. Okay? Again, we've been told you're married, so I am a little bit worried about the whole husband thing. Remember, you know, like till death do us part. It just looks like it's till Come Dine With Me does us part. Now, determined to not lose Jo to Michael, Paul has actually got a trick up his sleeve as he's brought an entire deck of cards which all have a different pickup line on, and he's using it on the women.
Was your father an alien?
I'd be really insulted if you said that. Carry on.
Because there's nothing like you on Earth.
Oh, God! This is awful! Make it stop! Please! I think it's just the fact that he's brought them. For what reason? I am trying to look at this from his perspective. Like, he did say in the intro that he doesn't feel like he's got the best personality. Maybe this is him trying to push himself out of his comfort zone and, you know, talk to, I guess, these girls who he normally might not. I really don't know. I think I'm trying to see this too much from his point of view.
Honestly, come on now, let's go, baby. The bed's there.
Obviously, Joe's joking there, but I feel like Paul will take that with all seriousness. Guarantee after that, he went in his own room and went, yes, fucking get in, suck that, Michael. Knew the alien one would work. Saying it in the mirror 20 times before I came paid off. Now, the whole innuendo and kind of sexual jokes don't slow down at Michael's night. They're actually just ramped up even further.
Do you often like creamy things in your mouth, Jo?
Now, enough.
Oh, we need some security on set. Now, this is, Paul just gives me off weird vibes. Like, I told you that he would think that Jo was being serious by saying get on the bed now. He's trying to push it for further now. To him, Jo just opened the door to him. It's like 11 opening the gate in Stranger Things. The floodgates are open now. Oh, that is such a weird thing to say. Like... it's so weird watching people flirt. I hate it. I know I'm probably overreacting here, but whenever I watch a dating show and people are very clearly trying to flirt, it just kind of creeps me out.
I was thinking how civilised it is tonight.
He went and touched her as well. He was like, I'll put my hand on your palm. There we go. Telling you, Michael, while you're cooking over there, me and Jo are just cooking up a storm over here. Michael then serves his starter and the guests really like it. Jo likes it so much that she's actually started sexually heckling him while he's cooking the main.
Dangerous, isn't it?
Not as dangerous as your bedside table.
What does that even mean? Not as dangerous as your bedside table? What? Like, what do people have on their bedside tables? I actually have a Batman mask on mine. It's not actually weird. I just really like Batman. I just like having it there. It's for decoration, guys. I've never worn it, okay? Don't even know why I admitted that, because now I'm just seeming like a bit of a strange one. I actually go out every night and fight crime, guys. If you didn't know, now you do. And you can see Helen is getting more and more uncomfortable because Jo just is going like she's not taming herself at all like she said she would for Helen's presence.
But would they work on you?
Anything works on
So
me.
if someone came up and said that...
Hello, normally my knickers are on me.
I do think that Jo is really genuine and I do think she's really funny, but I will say that whenever she's having a conversation, it's always about Like, it's always sexual. It's like about, like, you know, maybe his body parts or whatever. Like, that kind of seems our only crack, and I can imagine, like, that can be tiresome if she's just constantly talking about that. I'm just trying to see this from Helen's point of view, because a lot of people might be watching this and thinking Helen is just a prude and is just, like, the odd one out and isn't kind of interacting with everyone. But I can understand feeling uncomfortable if it's constantly the talk on the table, especially when you don't know these people as well and you're not really as involved with the other three.
I'm not comfortable.
That was funny for 2 minutes. Now, let's see what you are, Joe.
I see. Even Paul, you know, Paul, the guy that started this night off by asking her if she likes creamy things in his mouth, even he's drawn the line. That's nice, Paul, as if you want the one that keeps instigating it as well. Yeah, honestly, I'm sick of her doing all these innuendos. Oh, you, Paul, you enjoyed it 2 minutes ago. Now, when the main course comes, Paul actually gives some valid criticism to Michael. He says that the chicken is overcooked, and when you overcook it, it dries. He's not being nasty at all. He's just giving valid criticism as like a deli owner, and I feel like Michael takes it quite well. Helen also agrees with it. However, Jo is just not letting Paul criticize Michael whatsoever. She's kind of coming to his defense at all times. I feel like she's trying to get a little bit of validation from Michael because she clearly fancies him. Like, straight after doing this, she also asks him for a kiss. Also, if you haven't already, please do drop a like on this video because it helps me out. I don't know how, but I appreciate it. It only takes 1 second. Thanks, donuts.
I like kiss and some wine, please.
Kiss and some wine.
Yes.
I'm not sure what Joe's doing, and does Michael need a mother?
You had like a kiss and some wine. Oh, would you, love? Would you? Bit weird, isn't it? It's just Paul's face when he's like sitting next to them. He's like... This feels like a scene from The Office, like, genuinely. I really want to know if they have shagged. Like, I want to know, because they're giving off that energy. And when the dessert comes, Jo again brings up her boobs.
It looks like my boobies on a bad day.
Can we just leave them out just for one?
It is getting a bit tiresome, love. You know, it is. It's like your entire personality trait at this point, man. Any excuse to talk about them, she's like, oh my God, this chocolate looks like them. Oh my God, your toilet bowl, it looks exactly like them. It's like, does it really, love? Does it? Despite this, everybody does enjoy the dessert, some more than others.
Darling, you've got a little bit on your tie.
Okay, I'm out, guys. I'm out. I can't, it's not for me, right? It's not for me. Like, could you imagine being at this dinner table and one of the guests is sucking the other guest's tie and, like, obviously trying to be, like, seductive or whatever? It's strange, and I feel like it is making people feel uncomfortable at this point. I understand she's having a laugh. I do get it, and I guess it's funny. But even Michael is a bit like, what?
Naughty lady.
If I didn't like the people so much, I'd just walk off.
So, yeah, honestly, if there wasn't a chance of us winning £1,000, I'd be out of here. Jo then actually confronts Helen and says, like, she's ruining the night. She's, like, making the tone really negative. But I don't think she is, personally. When the guests go home in the taxi, they all collectively give Michael a score of 25, which obviously puts him in the lead. He even got a 10 from Jo, surprisingly. Like, she doesn't really give off the vibe that she likes him that much. And then now we finally come to the final night of the week, Helen's night. I am really hoping that Helen gets a better score than Michael just because of how kind of cocky Michael has been about winning this from the start. All of the guests do say prior to arriving to Helen's house that this will be the most sophisticated night. However, I feel like they're going to be in for a surprise. When we do see Helen, like, preparing the food, it is funny to see that her absolute hero in life is Gordon Ramsay. Obviously someone we know very well on this channel.
The thing about Gordon Ramsay is he doesn't seem to care what other people think, and that's always my problem. I always care too much.
I love this. You know, she's got like a little thing of a dog, a little, you know, kind of trinkets that she's got, but the biggest thing on there, the biggest photo is of Gordon Ramsay. It's the fact that it's not even like a framed photo or anything. She has just printed it off. You can see the border of white around it where she hasn't kind of gone full scale with the printing. This is so cute. I guess you would hold yourself to a higher standard if he was always watching while you're cooking.
So when I'm going sort of through a stressy moment, I think, Gordon, he's going to me, look, you know you can cook, just get on with it.
Yep.
Helen, just saying. right? Not really feeling the whole raunchy thing, right? Kissing Gordon Ramsay. Get a room, will you, love? Bloody hell. I am kind of rooting for Helen, though. Hopefully her night is not a kitchen nightmare. Now, after all of the guests do arrive, Helen lays down the law while she's serving the appetizers. She's having none of the innuendos tonight.
I'm not a prude, but I feel uncomfortable with them.
If that's what you thought, you should have just told me. I'm really sorry if you...
I do feel like they should respect her on this because, you know, when she's been in other people's homes, she's kind of just shut it up and just kind of, you know, kind of stuck with it because she knows it's their night. Now, this is her night. This is her home. I do feel like you should be a little bit respectful towards her rules. But then again, from their point of view, you know, if this is just who they are, should they really hide this because somebody else isn't, you know, kind of feeling it? Let me know your opinion in the comments because I'm definitely kind of, I don't know. I don't know how everyone's going to feel about this. I feel like you're either definitely on one scale or definitely on the other. You can't really not have an opinion on this. Now, the guests aren't really feeling this pact that they've made with Helen. They've actually made their own private pact and made a bet about how long they can last without doing an innuendo.
It's like being at school when you're told not to do something, you do it kind of even more.
I mean, yes, when you're a child, you know.
Don't have a tenner, we don't get through half hour.
Half hour?
Half
You're
hour.
on.
Half
Money,
hour.
mate.
I don't really get Paul because Paul at the end of last night was complaining about, you know, all of the conversations being innuendos. Now he's making bets about how long they can last. He kind of gives us a little bit two-faced vibes. Like, I don't really understand what's going on here, Paul. Are you in or you're out? You can't have both, all right? It's like, you know, when you were younger and you would keep going in and out of the house when you were playing out and your mum would like shout down the house going, right, that's it. You're either in or you're out now. It's innuendos in or innuendos out. It's nothing like that, actually. I don't know why I said that. Apologies, guys. Bit of useless kind of, you know, segue there.
Should we look through the wardrobes?
Oh, let's do
No offense, but Michael looks so young to like compared to Joe here. Like, Joe looks like Michael's mother, and I mean that in the nicest possible way, but I don't feel like she should be, you know, going for him as much as what she is. Now, after this, they kind of disrespect Helen even more as they just go through her wardrobe and just kind of take the piss.
What's this?
Should even dry clean it.
Like, you can see on Paul's face, he's not even feeling this. Or I don't know if he's just not feeling that Michael is in the way of this sandwich. Look how his face changes when he realises Joe's speaking to Michael, not him.
Should even dry clean it.
He wants to kill him. You can see it on his face. He's staring at the back of his head like, I could. If I wanted to, I could have. Why didn't I put the poison in on me night?
There's a red rag to ball to Joe.
Shall I hide you now, babe?
Tonight should be...
Yeah, I just feel like they're kind of taking the piss out of Helen a little bit. And she's been respectful to them, so I'm not feeling this. And when they eventually sit down at the dinner table, they're just being worse than ever.
I sweat a little bit last night.
Tired of my night in all the wrong places.
Tenner.
Was that too risque or are you allowing it?
I'm allowing that.
I guess they are just having fun. But any excuse to mention a private part and, oh, Joe's there. Queue jump. Always first there. Should come over, man. Now, when the food does arrive, the guests are very heavily critical of it.
I think that the tomatoes are a little bit acidic, but maybe they shouldn't be.
Yeah, I think, you know, the tomatoes taste like acid. I don't think that's right. Yeah, no shit, Joe.
The acidity in the tomatoes was too much for me, and I don't like eating a plate of acid.
Well, you're in the minority, love, right? Every night I do that, as you can probably tell by looking at me. What, are you telling me that every single time you go out, you don't order a plate of acid? Oh, such a normie. What? What would a plate of acid actually look like as well? How would you keep it on the plate? That's impressive, if anything. I'd order it just because of the intrigue. Now, obviously, with the guests being on this innuendo ban, you really get to see the true personality of Joe, and she's actually just starting to be a bit nasty.
Quite sharp, isn't it?
No, it's
I
not
like it.
sharp. Nothing's more sharp than tomatoes.
No.
Like, you can even see on Michael's face there, like, he wasn't even laughing. I feel like that's just a nasty thing to say. Like, Helen was agreeing that her tomatoes weren't the best. You've called them acidic, okay, that's fine. But now you're just kind of being a bit nasty with it. It's no longer just criticism. What's even weirder is when Helen gets up to go and prepare the next course, Joe just pours her remaining wine that she didn't like in one of Helen's vases. Again, it's just kind of weird things. Like, she's acting like a child. She definitely is very drunk here, but again, that's no real excuse for her actions. Helen then actually has organised some entertainment. She's basically playing one song on the saxophone, and again the guests are kind of being a bit rude. I just feel so bad for Helen here.
It just made me laugh.
Yeah, I just like, even Paul just doing that without, like, Helen isn't involved in the joke. And the entire week, you three have been like a little group and she's been by herself and she's, you know, said to you guys that she doesn't feel like she has a place in the group. This is just kind of, I don't know if it's bullying, possibly it is. If this was happening in school, I definitely would say it's bullying, so I guess it is bullying, even though they're adults still. I just don't think it's fair, just because she's a bit different to you guys, that you kind of have exiled her and decided that she's kind of the victim in the group. Because she seems so nice and she hasn't been disrespectful really at all. And it's such a shame regarding the food as well, because the guests just despise the food too.
It's all a bit too kind of pub cooking, gastro pub that didn't quite happen.
She's smashed. She is absolutely smashed, by the way. She can't even keep her eyes open, man. This is one thing that I haven't really discussed throughout this entire week, is Jo definitely seems to get like a lot more drunk than everybody else. I don't know if she is just generally a lightweight, or if it's like kind of trying to hide something, you know, just, you know, she drinks to kind of, you know, make herself feel better and feel more relaxed. I don't know. But it definitely is a concern, because I feel like it makes her a bit worse of a person. Now, obviously, at this point, Helen still doesn't know about the bet that the other three made about not using an innuendo, and when one comes up, Paul actually says something to Jo, which creates the biggest drama of the week.
She'll change from this. You will barely ever be slutty again.
Fella. No. Paul, pack it in, will you? Enough of that, will you? I definitely think that came from a place of like, I haven't been able to kind of get what I want in terms of her liking me, so I'm going to say this is a joke, but I actually kind of mean it in a weird way.
I'm going to throw 40 whatever it is. Go on, your boots.
Take that and shove it right up your
Mate, that was a cheap shot.
I know, it was bad.
Why did he sound like he was about to cry there? He went, no, it was bad. Why did you say it then? Like, you could have stopped at that word that you said, but then you, like, got the money out and acted as if, like, what? As if she was, like, a stripper or something? Like, you're kind of giving her money to do whatever. Like, that's weird. Like, you're being degrading and weird here. That's no longer an innuendo. Like, it's not clever. It's not funny. You're just being derogatory. Strange. Now, as you can see, obviously Jo really, really didn't like that, and she stormed out. And, you know, rightly so, she's fair to feel how she feels at that comment. But I do again feel sorry for Helen, because she did politely ask that they wouldn't talk like this, and now it's led to like the biggest bust up of the week.
I felt Jo overstepped the mark and then threw it doubly back at her, and then she threw the hissy fit.
I mean, I don't think that's what we saw there. I feel like you definitely took it too far.
Shall I go and see her?
This is so funny and awkward. This has ended in total disaster. What is going on? Oh, I hate this.
What are you going to do?
I'm not doing anything.
Are you all right?
The best left alone.
Coward.
Yeah, exactly. Like, coward. Just say it. Just apologise. Just be like, yeah, I shouldn't have said that. That's horrific from me. I didn't, you know, obviously mean it. I'm really sorry. I've made you feel this way. Don't just not say anything.
Okay.
The lapdog dropped in. He's better than that. And in 10 years' time, he'll look back and wish he was me.
Are you taking the piss out of me? What the hell are you on about, son? Yeah, in 10 years' time, he'll look back and wish he was me. I don't think he will. I really don't think he will, fella. I doubt Michael, when he's 31, is going to think of this moment and be like, oh, I really wish I was the one that said that to Jo. Oh, God, the power I would hold right now. This clip alone tells me that Paul is just insanely bitter. This is what it says. He's jealous and bitter, and that comment came from all of this bitterness. Straight up, I knew it. I could read it straight away. Even the fact he's calling Michael like her lapdog, when in reality he's just going to see if she's okay. Whereas nobody else stood up to do that. Look at his face. He's so angry. Wow. It is amazing how this show always creates so much drama. Like, in reality, they're just having a dinner party, but because they throw a prize fund in there, and because they throw loads of really obnoxious people in, it just creates absolute chaos, and it's brilliant. Helen then eventually does return to the table after a while, and Paul does apologise to her. Like, he kind of has his tail between his legs and just kind of says it. But you can definitely feel that he didn't really mean it.
If the menu would have been cooked brilliantly, it would have been pretty terrible. It was cooked averagely. With a lecture about don't talk about sex, I'd rather pull my teeth out.
he's becoming a villain right now. Like, he has changed so much this night. The character arc from the start that Paul's been on to now is wild. The downfall of Paul's crazy. That's going to be my new Reacts video. Subscribe to my Reacts channel if you want to see that. The guests then all go upstairs and secretly rate Helen's night. As you can probably imagine, the rating isn't the best. Shockingly, Paul actually gives this night a 4, which is the worst rating in the entire week out of anybody. And then they all sit down in Helen's front room to reveal the actual winner.
In 4th place, me. And in 3rd place is Paul.
Hey! Fuck off.
2nd place is Joe. And the winner is Michael.
Sorry, is that photo right here not just the epitome of this entire week? It's just them two embracing and him just like a cook in the corner. Keep going, you're doing great, mate, you're doing great. 12 stars for camp, you're doing amazing.
I'm happy as Michael because apart from one course, he cooked beautifully.
He still can't have it. He's like, yeah, but it wasn't perfect though. Just saying. Right, not trying to put a dampener on his day, but he's not perfect. Now that's the end of the episode, Donut. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I love covering Come Dine With Me. We do actually have 3 previous videos on it. If you want to watch this one right here, this is the cruelest week of Come Dine With Me ever. Somebody storms out of this one, but they don't return. It's wild. I'll see you over there. Click it. Bye-bye.